Welcome to Herb 101. I'm Dave with Herbalogic, and this is part 2 of Frankincense and Myrrh, where, among other things, we're going to answer the question about why frankincense is named after two Scotsmen, and the answer is because colonialism. Now, our second species, Boswellia sacra, or sacra, which is sacred, right? It's used in rites and rituals. It's typically grown in Oman, and it's used for postpartum fumigation. It's used to exorcise malevolent jinns, the sort of spirits of the desert, although they're not malevolent. But I'm going to tell you, if you have to ask it to leave, that's a red flag. And there's Boswellia serrata, which is grown in the Punjab region in northern India. Now, that is prized in Ayurvedic medicine, where it is called shalaki. I'm not an Ayurvedic guy, so if I got that wrong, please let me know. Now, the Latin for myrrh is Commiphora myrrha, and where the Commiphora here, comma means gum, and phora means bearing, so gum bearing, and the myrrha actually refers to a Greek myth. And I'm going to tell you right now that if I told you the whole myth, I would definitely get a community guidelines violation. It's that kind of Greek mythology, but let's just say that Myrrha was sad when she was turned into a tree and is still crying the tears of Myrrha, which is what myrrh is called sometimes. Also, if you're planning on crossing Aphrodite, don't. Now, most folks come into contact with these two things through the nativity story. That's where I did, and I can remember asking my Sunday school teacher, like, what are they? Like, I knew what gold was, but I didn't know what these were. And she told me they're very valuable, much like gold. And while that's true, and they could have been traded for things, it's unlikely that they were really used sort of as a store of value or a currency. But since frankincense and myrrh have been used for thousands of years, from the southern Arabian Peninsula up through North Africa and into the Levant, for both ritual and medicinal uses, including gynecological care, it is not unreasonable to suggest that they could have been used postpartum in some cultures and traditions, and in fact, they still are. Now, today in TCM, typically these get used together and with formulas, not necessarily on their own, and they are typically used to treat something that Chinese medicine calls blood stasis. What does this look like? It looks like an old injury that won't heal. It looks like a bruise that lingers, right? And the idea here is that they break up and move that stagnation. What's going on? It's really about improving circulation and reducing inflammation for old injury. That tends to be how they're used and how it works. That was Herb 101, Frankincense and Myrrh. Thanks for watching.